Good morning, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everyone's having just a really good week so far. We started out strong and we're going to continue down that pattern. Now, we have an interesting story for you today. Well, a couple of them, right? So a guy was living with a knife inside of his chest for 8 years before he realized something was off. And we also have the Karen of the day, so stay tuned for that. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for continuing to like, share, view, and comment on my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you find entertainment in this. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. Really glad to have you. All right, now on to our first story here, which is pretty shocking, because how could you live with a knife inside of your body for almost a decade and not know it? I mean, have you ever had a splinter? It's painful. It's painful to say the least, and you know it's there. You know it's there. Now, how could you live with a knife inside of your body for 8 years? Let's get to this story here. All right, on to the story. So it comes from mirror.co.uk, and it says, shock as man discovers he's been living with a knife in his chest for 8 years. Warning, graphic content. So just so you're aware, there's some x-rays in here. Now, a 44-year-old man was treated at a Muhumbeli National Hospital in Tanzania, where a large knife was removed from his chest, which had been living with for 8 years. Wow. Stunned doctors found a man had been living with a large knife blade lodged in his chest. Look at the size of this thing. Look at that. That's nuts. So the 44-year-old man went to the hospital complaining of discharge below his right nipple. And it left medics baffled, as he had no other symptoms. The unnamed patient reported no chest pain, difficulty breathing, cough, or fever, and his vital signs were understood to be completely normal. It left doctors stumped, and it wasn't until the man recalled an incident which took place nearly a decade ago that they were able to put the pieces together. Wow. During a violent altercation, he said he sustained multiple cuts to his face, back, chest, and abdomen, though doctors treated the wound at the time. But no x-rays, apparently. They just treated the wounds and sewed them up with a knife inside of them. Jeez, oh, Pete. This is wild. So, life had been uneventful since, according to the patient, until he noticed discharge coming below his nipple. And then, incredibly, a chest radiograph found the cause of his current ailment. A knife blade had been lodged in the mid-thorax. Doctors could see the knife had entered through the right scapula and had managed to dodge any major organ. So is this guy just the luckiest guy to be living right now? I mean, to be living with this lodged inside of your body is pretty wild. Now, the knife was carefully extracted during surgery with the discharge caused by dead tissue drained at the same time. The man stayed in the ICU for 24 hours before being transferred to general ward, where he remained for 10 days while doctors monitored his condition. Oh, gross. I'm going to blur that out. You don't want to see that. Ugh. All right, the case reported by the Journal of Surgical Case Reports last month shared that the patient, who was treated Muhumbeli National Hospital in Tanzania, recovered well, and follow-up appointments were uneventful. I mean, wow, what a story. The guy is very lucky, and at the same time, he's very unlucky. I mean, he was violently attacked all over his body. It was pushed into his body. There was no handle on it, if you could see from the x-rays, no handle on it. And it was then left inside of him. No x-rays were taken at the time, obviously. So I'm just saying, the healthcare over there is not the greatest. All right, now on to our next story, which we have a TikTok video for, actually. And it involves a Karen in a Texas bikini that was visiting the Virgin Islands, telling people that they were on private property. But the problem was, it wasn't private property at all.
And now, introducing your friendly neighborhood Karen.
Oh, you're gonna put it on the internet. That's cute. Well, what else do you want me to do?
I would like you to
the
leave.
beaches and
You're
public.
on private property.
This is not
It
private
is.
property.
You see the house right here?
We
That
are
means it's
in
private
the
property.
We are in the Virgin Islands.
Congratulations.
St.
So
Thomas,
is everybody
and
else.
the beaches are public here.
They're not.
And
No, ma'am, they're not. You can go to a public beach out at Megan's Bay.
50 years I've been here.
Congratulations. That's great. This is private property.
not.
It is private
I
property.
live right
And you
there.
need to take your things and your kids and you need to go.
We're not leaving. So, call the police, we'll set this up. Okay?
Yes, very interesting stuff. I mean, some people think that the world is theirs. You know, no matter where they go, they're on vacation. This is my area. I may be at a public beach, but you're not allowed to be here because I'm here. Now, the person that shared this actually is from the Virgin Islands. They have a TikTok called Virgin Islands Pride, right? So they kind of know what's going on in the Virgin Islands, but this woman who's probably from Texas, I mean, we can look at some context clues here and kind of figure out where she's from. But yeah, she thinks she knows the laws over in the Virgin Islands more than the person from the Virgin Islands knows it. Now, what lessons can be learned here? I mean, there's a couple lessons that can be learned, like mind your own business and just know that if you're going out and acting like a Karen, everyone's going to record you nowadays and you're going to go viral on the internet, and not a lot of people want that for this type of behavior. Now, have you ever been stressed out? Because at the event I was at the other day, I was talking to a teacher, which she was also an Army veteran, and she was married to a Marine Corps veteran. So if you're watching out there, good luck in the school year. I know you're stressed out for it. And also, thank you for your service. Now, moving on to our next story, where we have a middle school teacher who is not a very smart individual.
And now, the Right View would like to introduce the moron of the day.
All right, our next story brings us over to Fox 13, Tampa Bay. Now, a Spring Hill teacher accused of DUI after crashing into school fence. Okay, now the brief on this: a Hernando County teacher is accused of driving under the influence and crashing into a school fence. It happened at Explorer K8 in Spring Hill on Tuesday morning. Philip Skyer refused to submit to a blood draw and was charged with 1 count of DUI. Let's go to what we know. So according to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, deputies went to the school shortly before 11:45 a.m. to investigate reports that a teacher crashed into a fence in the rear parking lot of the school. The school resource deputy was the first to arrive and said he found Philip Skyer unconscious, sitting behind the steering wheel with the vehicle still in gear. The deputy said he also saw several empty single-serving alcohol containers within Skyer's reach. I mean, look at this guy. You can kind of tell right away that there's something going on with him. You know what I mean? So Skyer was taken to an area hospital for evaluation. Once at the hospital, a traffic unit deputy arrived to speak to Skyer. Deputy noted Skyer smelled of alcohol. According to HCSO, the deputy tried several times to get Skyer to submit to a blood draw to determine his blood alcohol content and whether he was under the influence of any chemical substances. However, Skyer declined to provide a sample. Once cleared by the hospital, Skyer was charged with 1 count of driving under the influence and taken to the Hernando County Detention Center. Skyer was previously arrested on a charge of DUI in Broward County in 2014. So it is unclear if Skyer is still an employee of the school, but the link in his bio on the school's website was broken on Tuesday morning. Yes, not a very smart individual, and the lives that he put at risk for his terrible decision making is unexcusable, to say the least. All right, so we have 3 things to note from today's video, which is don't get medical care in Tarzania, especially after you've been violently attacked, because you will leave the hospital with a knife lodged in your chest cavity. Second thing to note is don't be a Karen. Just mind your own business, because you will go viral on TikTok, and that's not a great thing for the reason that it was. And third thing to note is never drink and drive. It's not smart. It is not smart. Never drink and drive. But if you found this video entertaining, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment, just put an emoji down below. Put an emoji down below. It helps engagement, helps the algorithm. For the rest of the day, please get outside, do some PT, don't drink and drive, hydrate, and change your socks. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.